Good afternoon, everybody. And today I wanted to talk about an E-2 situation, and that is somewhat common, and we have a very good workaround life hack solution for you. Again, my name's Charles Rather. I'm the managing partner here at AmLog Group, where for over 15 years, we've been helping entrepreneurs, business people, and talented professionals such as yourselves successfully and comfortably make that transition to the US. So today we're going to talk about E-2. Now, here's an interesting scenario, and it comes up quite often, and you might not be surprised, is, hey, I want to set up an E-2 business. I know the requirements. I've talked to Charles and his team or somebody else, but hopefully if you've talked to us and our team, you're completely clear on everything. And the question is, well, but I need to spend, as you know, you need to spend at least a good portion, at least 50%, depending on how much you're investing. But usually if you're investing about 100K, we say you got to spend 50, 60,000 before you file for the visa. And the client might say, look, I got a great business. And we agree with the client, great business model, appropriate for E-2, everything looks good. But the client says, hey, I can't spend 50 grand right now. I mean, there's just nothing I can spend that money on. Maybe it's an IT related business, a services type business where there's not a lot of large expenditures that you need to make at this point. What do I do? Well, the good solution as to what you would do is spend the money. But you don't have to file for the E-2 right away. And we do this on a regular basis with clients. They might say, hey, I'm ready to get operations going. And we say, great, you can do it remotely. Let's say if you're Canadian, for example, you can periodically make short visits to the US, just check on things. When you're crossing the border, you don't want to say, I'm going to check on my business that I'm going to use for my E-2 when I file for it later this year. It's totally legal that you're doing it, but when you say stuff like that, our sensitive Customs and Border Patrol react negatively to those kinds of things, and so you just don't want to go into those kind of details. But you can periodically make visits here on the visa-free regime. If you're, say, from Europe and you have the ESTA, as you know, you can come up here to up to 90 days for each visit. With Canadians, you can come up to 180 days. And you can check on the business that way. Or if your business is working well enough, you can just remotely operate it, from your home country. So what you would do is we set up the business, you start making expenditures, you start operations, and you start investing money gradually from there. And after enough time has gone by so that we can show that, hey, you've spent already, let's say 50, 60,000 in our scenario, if you invest 100K, then at that point, we would file for the E-2. So that's a very good workaround to solve this issue of making your capital expenditures. So a lot of people kind of think, okay, well, if I'm going to file for the E-2, I open my company, I start operations, I can file for the E-2 in a year or 2 years from now. We just need to wait long enough. You need to keep track of your receipts and your expenditures and stuff like that. But you can start operations remotely. Like I said, periodically come here as a tourist, just check up on things if it's necessary. And if it's not necessary, great, don't even come to the US. And after we get to that point where we can show that you've put into the business, about 100K, and the business has actually, expended, about 50, 60 of that, then we're good to take the next steps and get your E-2 prepared and filed. So hopefully this was helpful to kind of explain how you can not get around, but how you can deal with that requirement where out of the amount that you've invested in the company, we have to show that you've spent at least a significant portion of it. So again, that might delay the process of getting the E-2 and when you can finally move here, but that's just the way it works. You can't get your cake and eat it too. So again, this is a great option if you've got a service type business, you don't have a lot of large capital expenditures up front. So this is where we can make those expenditures over the course of time, 3 months, 6 months, 12, doesn't matter, and allow you to get your E-2. If this was helpful for you, we'd appreciate putting a like next to this video, and even better yet, please reach out to us with any questions to help you with your E-2 journey.